And the Giants, I guess he did something right because he didn't play. You got the number 1 pick, and you're going to find a way to F that up too. Yeah. So the Giants got 4 games to go, and they sit at number 1 in the draft, and they are going to mess that up.
New York energy, let's get it, let's get it, let's get it.
This is the Ozone, season 2, we taking flight. New York on lock, every borough ignite. Giants, Jets, Knicks, Yanks, Mets, we the hype. Malik Sauce, Jalen Judge, Lindo, NY Life. MetLife thunder when malignant bars break the rail. Giants running routes, ops fall, we prevail. Sauce Gardner locked down, jet fuel in his stance. MetLife heat beam, Jets defenders advance. MSG vibrate when Jalen Brunson start to cook. Knicks like the garden, ops shook when he looked. Pinstripes roll, Aaron Judge send rockets over Bronx. Bombs drop, Yankees prime, real talk, no cons. City field glow, Lindo make that leather sing. Met bats knock, Queens dreams gon' always ring. From the bridges to the streets, uptown blackout. Season 2, Ozone, NY Heat, no doubt. This is the Ozone. Season 2. New York, forever drills. Catch the vibe.
You have entered the Ozone with Omar and Dave.
Let's go, baby. We are here, and you guys officially enter the Ozone. It's your boy Omar here. Boy, am I happy scheduling conflicts got this episode dropping on Thursday. Because if not, we wouldn't have been able to cover the biggest news. Looks like Trumpets is moving out west. And now you're stuck with Devin. The Knicks are rolling. They're almost close to Vegas. We can smell it. We can taste it. The New York Jets, I might have to retract what I said last week. Because the Jets said, hold my beer. And the Giants is sitting number 1. But you know who's always number 1? It's the best co-host in the business, super producer Dave. Brother, it's a new week. How we feeling?
Brother, it is championship week in the fantasy football playoffs. And out of 3 out of 4 leagues, I'm in. So, I'm happy.
I got flamed by my wife because she said now my football life is over in real life and in fantasy because I missed the playoffs. So shout out to my wife, my biggest supporter, yet my biggest troller as well. But brother, we got some baseball news to talk about because you know, you play the trumpets, I'm gonna play the I love LA. We gotta talk about it, y'all. This is the Subway Series Central Winter Meetings Edition. Roll it, brother.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Alrighty, y'all. This is Subway Central, Subway Series Central Winter Meetings Edition. All right, you know what, brother? The winter meeting started this week. Winter meetings, you get things rolling, you know what I mean? Histories, you know, Aaron Judge was signed during the winter meetings, Garrett Cole, all that. But big news out of Queens because Edwin Díaz, arguably the best Mets closer of all time, best closer in the game, without a doubt, has officially signed a 3-year, $69 million deal. 12 easy payments with the Los Angeles Dodgers. Brother, the rich get richer because the back-to-back champs just added the best closer in baseball. Now, let's just put it like this before I get your take. Met fans, how we feeling? Last week, and I don't want to kick you while you're down, but I will. I wore Yankee gear on purpose this episode because I'm taking the unbiased podcast hat off and I'm putting the Yankee fandom hat on. I told y'all last week the Devin Williams signing was a sign that I think Diaz was going to be gone. And the only way this Devin Williams signing was going to look great is if you kept Diaz. Now, what you got hit with is what we like to call karma. You flamed the Yankees for getting Edwin Díaz. For Devin Williams. Flamed them all season about him blowing games. Then you try to change your tone when you signed him because you thought you was going to get Diaz and he'd be your setup guy. Now he's your damn closer. Edwin Díaz, the whole narrative, brother, last year when the Mets signed Juan Soto was now guys want to come here. We are the championship team. Guys want to play here. Edwin Díaz left y'all for allegedly $3 million. Because if you believe what they said, brother, the Mets offered, and I don't want to mess this up, so I'm going to look this up right now. The Mets, according to Joe Sherman, he's valid. The Mets offered him 3 years, $66 million. You can't sit there and tell me that the Mets couldn't match it. He didn't clearly go there for money. Let's just be honest. What's $3 million? That's the taxes. He left y'all because you did two things. You disrespected him by just assuming he was going to sign. And then you disrespected him once more, talking to Devin Williams and giving a Devin Williams contract before even working out your guys. And according to Jeff Passan, that's what he's reporting, brother, that Edwin Díaz, that they said the split between Díaz and the Mets started was when the pitcher did not get a call giving him a heads up about the decision to sign Devin Williams. So you risk losing your best closer to ever wear your damn uniform for a bum, overrated, not even a closer, proved he's not, bum, that you claim Met fans was broken by the guy who's probably not going to be on your team anymore too. We're going to get to that. But, brother, Edwin Díaz is in L.A.
Brother, we are getting a lot of traction on Threads right now, and I'm going to post some screenshots of what the fans are saying regarding the Mets and their decisions. Brother, before we let people take the narrative away from this and that Mets fans want to spin it, I'm just going to highlight real quick. In 2025, Edwin Díaz posted a 1.63 ERA, converted 28 out of 31 saves, and struck out 98 batters in 66 and a third innings, amongst the best relief seasons in the league. So before you go and say that he wasn't great, let's just
And it's
stop
there.
it. Let's
It's
pump the brakes.
there, brother. You see it. Some of these Met fans are trying to cope.
Let's pump the brakes. Pump the brakes.
Go ahead, brother. I didn't want to cut you off, but go ahead.
Let's pump the brakes. He didn't leave because of money.
No.
I'm sure the money could have been met. He left because you guys cannot win. The Mets do not know how to win. And I get it. There's a culture change. There's a lot that's coming. There's Juan Soto. There's so much money to be spent. You guys just got approved for a casino in Citi Field.
Yep.
Great. But guess what? The Dodgers just won another championship. And I'm sorry, we can already declare it as of right now, December 9th, the Dodgers will win the next World Series.
Hard to argue that.
If you want to put a bet down right now, go ahead. If it's available, go ahead and lock it down right now. The Dodgers just won their next World Series. So Mets fans, please do not try to spin this and say that no, this is we're okay with Edwin walking and Williams is a cheaper contract for us in the long run or whatever you want to say. Whatever you want to do to spin it, don't. Just don't. Because at the end of the day, you just lost one of the best closers to the best team in the league.
You lost to a team that you're already not on their level. And
you thought you were.
And then the crazy part is you got a GM that in the exit meetings kept pressing run prevention. But yet you get rid of your best pitcher that prevents runs. Bro, this guy, David Stern, he's very much like a Brian Cashman in the aspect of this guy wants to be the smartest guy in the room. He wants to think that he's the smartest guy in the room and go, okay, watch this. I'm going to do this. No, you're wrong. No, jackass. You let your best closer go for a guy that he's going to close games for the Mets, Devin Williams. You look, just the name of the relievers that's on roster right now, and obviously things can change free agency. Devin Williams, Hansel Brazabon, Cooper Criswell, Reed Garrett, Okay, to get AJ Minter back, that's kind of, oh, he's okay, but we don't know what he's going to bring. Bro, a bunch of bums, bologna sandwiches, and their bullpen wasn't already not that great outside of Diaz. So I don't understand how they get better. Now, look, it's a lot to go into free agency. There's a lot that can happen. But what you said is, you said this, brother, and I just go back to last year. The narrative last year, where when they signed Soto, Soto said he signed because of the future of what this Mets team is. And you just lost your closer for $3 million to go to the Dodgers. If they were
And
built
also,
to
brother,
win, I don't think Edwin Díaz leaves to go to the Dodgers.
and brother, on top of that, okay, winning culture, right? Where this is the future. You guys just got rid of Brandon Nimmo too. You traded for Marcus Simeon. Like, do you see the things that are just showing, like, yo, like, there's a lot of things that you guys may have to walk back. And at this point, you have to decide as a Mets franchise, do we want to rebuild our whole bullpen? Or do
Well,
we
we're
go and
gonna
chase
have
another big
to.
arm? Because if you
We're
go
gonna
ahead and
have
chase
to.
another big arm, guess what? That costs you. And you already had the guy in your building, in your locker room. He played for you guys.
hmm So the Mets, obviously, it's no coincidence that you look at the timing of all this, and it was announced that he signed with the Dodgers. So then you're thinking, okay, maybe he got the 5 years that was alleged that he was seeking. Diaz was seeking, kind of like the first extension he got with the Mets, where he got like five, close to 100 mil or something close to that. Then you hear 3 years, and then when you hear the number of 3 for 69, you go, whoa. The Mets, all of a sudden, Andy DeComo, which I think is a mouthpiece for the New York Mets, is, then all of a sudden he comes up with, oh, I'm told that the Mets offered 3 for 66 with some slight deferrals. Now, and allegedly he didn't call him back. I think that's just to save face for the Mets. And you mentioned something, brother, that I think is very big that a lot of people aren't going to talk about. You mentioned Steve Cohen's casino project. And Steve Cohen is probably so focused on that. David Stern, I think David Stern doesn't care for the players he didn't bring in. He didn't bring in, he didn't draft Pete Alonso. He didn't bring in initially Edwin Díaz. That was Brody Van Wagen. You know what I mean? So I think that he didn't care about bringing Díaz back. I really do. And Cohen, I think Cohen wasn't even paying attention because I think he's so preoccupied in this casino. People want to blame Edwin Díaz. How about you look at your GM? How about you look at yourself first? Look at the Mets and go, why did we even play around with Díaz? Why didn't we just give him an extension? Why was that not our first priority? When Devin Williams got signed, I said it. I don't know. I wouldn't be so excited about that because it seems like you focused on your plan B first. Wait, that should have been something that you did if you would have lost Díaz. You know what I'm saying? And that was alarming. And now you hear the reports that I mentioned that Jeff Passan said, and it's like, bro, like, that's exactly, I think, what happened. Yo, take care of your house first before you start trying to take care of somebody else. You know what I mean? And now you can't, and now let's pivot now, brother, to Pete Alonso. Because you hear Pete Alonso's going to the winter meetings. He's going to meet with teams that are interested in him. And right now, it ain't the Mets. Right now, it's looking like Boston. He's supposed to be meeting with Boston and Baltimore. Right now, Pete Alonso looking for a 5-year deal. And if you believe in the rumors, and I think the fact with Kyle Schwarber re-signing with the Phillies, he got 5 for 150, and you're hearing that the Mets offered Kyle Schwarber 3 years. That's where the Mets want to stay around. The Mets are reportedly, according to MLB trade rumors, they're reportedly reluctant to go beyond 3 years. And right now, you got teams maybe like the Orioles might swoop in now and try to get Pete Alonso. You got teams like Boston that's gonna get 5 years, and I got a big feeling, brother, that Pete Alonso will be leaving the Mets too. And David Stern, and we don't wish no harm on nobody on the ozone, and we don't tolerate any unlawful behavior. However, his house might be teepeed, brother, if he lets Pete Alonso go as well. and you let in the offseason Edwin Díaz and Pete Alonso go. This is going to be a nightmare, brother. And I know last offseason we were on that train. Mets, get it done. Stop disrespecting Pete Alonso. Get it done. They got lucky and Pete signed that 2 years with a player option. He had a better year than he had last year, and you still playing games. You still playing games like you got options. And you are risking not arguably, the best offensive player to wear a Mets jersey from him leaving. You let the closer go, and now you're about to let the best offensive player go. And I don't want to hear this. I know I'm talking a lot, brother, and I'm going to give you the floor in a little bit. I don't want to hear no crap about the Dodgers. Yes, I make fun of the Dodgers about, their 12 easy payments and how they doing things. But y'all, the minute Cohen bought the team, y'all was on that, this is going to be better than George Steinbrenner. I don't want to hear y'all crying about money. Because when y'all signed Soto, y'all had that $1 million man gimmick going around and everybody could be bought. And at the end of the day, you still got to win. This is why the Mets aren't getting anybody, and this is why the damn Yankees aren't getting anybody. Because you know what? We like to point fingers at each other, but we're both losers. And the team out west, they continue to win. And players want to play with winners. So we may like it, we may dislike it or not. I tell you this, we've said it, brother. We wish the Yankees was in that situation. I looked at the 3 years, $69 million. I said, God damn it, why couldn't the Yankees offer him that? You know what I mean? So if you want to be mad at somebody, don't be mad at Edwin Díaz. Be mad at your GM, be mad at your team.
Brother, this is a man who batted .272, hit 38 home runs, had a 8.871 OPS. A way better year than 2024, the year that they disrespected him, right? The year that they were playing around and
the
they didn't get it done.
Clamoring for Vlad.
Right. And the red carpet that they laid out for him game one, right?
Red carpet.
Brother, I don't want to see this man on the Orioles, who already give us fits.
Yep.
I'm saying the Orioles right now because they already give us fits, and they're a team that I feel like they shouldn't. They shouldn't, but they do. And then the Red Sox. I already felt like last year, was the sign, the writing on the wall, like the Red Sox are back. The Red Sox are back.
The Red Sox. I would be honest. The Red Sox scare me more than Toronto.
They do,
and I know, and Toronto's making moves. You hearing about they signed Dylan Cease. Now you're hearing that they might be in the Kyle Tucker sweepstakes. So, you know what I mean. But the Red Sox scare me because the Red Sox are young.
This man Alonso is offering durability. He's offering stability in your lineup. He's giving you things that you want in a team that already is on the come up. Both of them, Orioles and Red Sox. And the fact that the Mets are playing around in a division that, well, guess what? Philly is going to continue being Philly, and they're strong.
Yep.
Atlanta is going to continue being strong. And what have the Mets done this offseason so far besides get Simeon?
Yeah, and they haven't done enough. Now, look, a lot could change. They can go and sign Cody Bellinger. Go sign Suarez, the closer. They could go and do that or make a big trade and get, with the Brewers and get McGill and get, the starting pitcher. I forgot his name, but they could go and do that.
But, brother, let me ask you a question. Does that feel like Plan C? Like at this point?
No.
This is a team. No. This is a team that should be doing Plan A and hitting right out the gates. You know what? We didn't make the postseason, right? That's number one. We didn't make the postseason.
Yeah.
And we're not doing anything to prove that we should be there next year. That contract with Soto, we can talk about it as much as we want. It's just another Mike Trout. And look at what Mike Trout has become on the Angels. I'm calling it right now. If they don't make the moves they need to, you just did another Mike Trout deal, which is a really good player and who can play really, who gets really paid well. But what has that earned your team? Because we all know what teams go for, and it's the World Series.
Yeah, so right now the Mets are talking. John Heyman just reported about an hour ago from us recording that the Mets are talking about Robert Suarez. He's the closer from San Diego. So, but then now look what you might have to do. Now you might have to give up prospects to get an elite closer when you had the most elite closer in the league and you let him walk away because you couldn't take care of your food. you couldn't take care of your people before you went on and tried to take care of others.
We interrupt this broadcast to bring you some breaking news.
What's good, y'all? It's your boy O from the Ozone, and Pete has left the building. Breaking news, Pete Alonso is exiting Queens and heading to Baltimore as he signed a 5-year, $155 million deal. This got to be a utter nightmare week for the New York Mets, as not only did they lose Edwin Díaz yesterday, but they lost now the greatest offensive player to ever don a New York Mets uniform. Pete Alonso ranks in the top 5 in every offensive statistical category in the New York Mets franchise history, owning the all-time home runs record. And plus, Pete Alonso missed no games. In 7 years with the New York Mets, only missing 24 games to show you how versatile he is. Now, I don't get why David Stern, this goofball, didn't want to go past the 3 years. They disrespected Pete Alonso last year by making him look for offers. And they were, fortunately enough, Pete Alonso came back, showed his loyalty. But what does David Stern do to reward Pete Alonso for his loyalty? Well, you know what? Doesn't even have the respect to offer him a contract. Well, you know what, Pete? You did the right thing. You showed loyalty and respect, as John Cena would say. But you know what? The Mets didn't do the same. So you know what, Pete Alonso? Good luck in Baltimore. I'll tell you this, Mets, who are you going to bring? You're hearing Paul Goldschmidt? You're hearing maybe Jeff McNeil? Man, you better off with Doug Heffernan. Well, I'll tell you this Mets offseason ain't looking too good for them. You've already lost your all-time closer and your all-time offensive hitter. Maybe that might be the signs of bringing in someone that makes $800 million. We don't know. But Met fans, tell me how you guys are feeling. What do you guys think of Pete Alonso exiting Queens? Was it the right move for him? Who deserves the blame? Is it Cohen for, having his mind with the casino? Is it David Stern or is it Pete Alonso? Let us know in the comments below. I want to pivot to the Yankees, brother, because Brian Cashman, like I said, when you look at the deal that Edwin Díaz got, and I'm like, God damn it, why couldn't we do it? It's not like we got this super elite bullpen. We got David Bednar. We got a couple, Hill. We got a couple guys, but we don't got this elite bullpen. Why couldn't we try to go after Edwin Díaz? And you look at Brian Cashman. Brian Cashman, this guy said about free agency, this man said, we're certainly open-minded. I think first and foremost, let's start with the premise that we have good players on this roster. We have really good players on this roster, and we are covered in most of all areas that you need to be covered. Brother, these comments doesn't give me any reassurance that we're going to do anything this offseason.
You mean the rinse and repeat comments?
Yeah. You're already hearing that, yes, the Yankees are going to try to re-sign Bellinger, which, I'm going to be honest, I was on the Kyle Tucker train before Bellinger. But you're starting to hear the tea leaves about Tucker's attitude. And according to Joe Sherman, he said the Yankees may have attitude concerns about Kyle Tucker long-term and his capabilities in New York, where they feel comfortable with Cody Bellinger. And I got to kind of agree with that. With Cody, at least we know what we're getting. Cody batted, 270. He had a 272, I think, batting average. He damn near hit, I think, 27, 28 bombs. We've seen what he can do. We know he can play here. He's versatile. He can play basically every position on the outfield. He could play first base. But you're also hearing that the Yankees aren't willing to go on a bidding war for him either. And when Cashman says we got a good team, we got good players, I'm looking at myself in the mirror, brother, and I'm like, bro, I seen the Yankees play. Where we got a good players at every position. Our shortstop, ass. Third baseman, ass. The left fielders, Jason Dominguez, you don't play the kid every day, so he's subpar ass. Grisham, can we count on that Grisham's going to have the same year that he had last year? And then Grisham played like ass in the playoffs. Then you have Aaron Judge. I don't understand. This team needs to make changes. Garrett Cole's not going to be available for the offseason. The start of the season. Rodon's not going to be available for the start of the season. You got to get arms. Now, I'll say this, because you don't hear the Yankees, I do think, I wouldn't be surprised, and I hope I'm right, that they do make a trade that we just don't see. Maybe a Sandy Alcantara, you hear about that. Or, you know what I mean? Something like that. Or who knows? Maybe, I know a lot of Yankee fans, this is the Giannis to New York kind of wishes of the Yankee fans have with Fernando Tatis. You know what I mean? But this whole notion that we're good in every position, we're good at where we're at. No, this team needs to make improvements. Because there's a team that made the World Series in our division. They made improvements. There's a team that we barely got by in the Wild Card Series, the Red Sox. They're making the improvements. They're going to make improvements. You need to do the same. You cannot stay the status quo because this team wasn't good enough to win a division and this team wasn't good enough to make a World Series. So no, and you damn wasn't good enough to win it. So you need to make changes. You need to make moves.
Thank you, brother, because you just let us segue into what I wanted to bring up. You bring up Cashman, I bring up Boone. This is what Boone had to say yesterday. We ended up with identical records last year regarding the Blue Jays, by the way. And I don't want to discount that they kicked our ass last year. Don't take it out of context. We had the same exact record, but they obviously were a great team last year and an eyelash away from winning a world championship. So they certainly proved to be better this year. This is a Blue Jays team that managed to sign over Dylan Cease and Cody Ponce, and they are still keeping Barrios, Bieber, Gausman, Yesevich, and are still in the hunt to get Bo Bichette and Kyle Tucker. Brother, your audio, you're mute.
My bad, I muted myself for a sec. I think they're going to bring Bo Bichette back. And I think, and it wouldn't, remember, brother, we made fun of them because nobody took their money. Now,
but they just made the championship.
But they just made the World Series, so now that's not going to be a problem. We knew money wasn't their issue. The issue was people taking their money. Now people see that they got a great fan base. The fan base rallies behind them when they're winning. Guys are going to want to go there. They're not going to have a problem spending money.
And you bring up somebody we just re-signed. We just re-signed Gresham, and he came, with the $22 million. You just re-signed Ryan Yarbrough. Great. But this is not this doesn't excite me for the next year when you're seeing what other teams are doing. You're not. And this is the thing that we keep on talking about, and sometimes it's upsetting because we have great times with the Yankees, but then we also have the bad times. And the bad times are more highlighted because there's a championship expectation, and that's it. Like, if you're not a champion, you didn't have a great season. And this is the thing that we keep going back to is this Cashman-Boone era is going to be a lot more of this. The comment that Omar started with Cashman is literally what we've heard probably last year, is what we heard the year before, is what we hear the year before. We're seeing them like rinse and repeat the same thing. What is that? What is your famous the famous Cashman quote about not having to trade for players because they're coming back from injury? What can you allude to that, Omar?
It's like acquiring a guy at the trade deadline. It's like acquiring, he would always say that when guys are hurt and when they don't make the necessary moves at the deadline, he's like, well, this is like getting a trade deadline piece. And it's like, no, guy, no, you keep counting on these guys, and it's just like it's that, and then the whole. Whoa, the playoffs is a crapshoot. No, the playoffs aren't a crapshoot. The best teams are getting by.
Pin that. December 9th, 2025. We said that this is exactly what Cashman's going to say. Please promise that as soon as that he says that again this year coming up, we will bring it up again because we already heard this before. The same song and dance.
The same song and dance? I don't know. But, brother, let's pivot to some basketball. Let's pivot to some good news because our New York Knicks are playing very well, and in the middle of this recording, they are up by 12 right now in the second quarter of the quarterfinals game against the Toronto Raptors. So let's get into it, y'all. This is This Week in Knicks.
This Week in Knicks.
All right, y'all, this is This Week in Knicks. This is where we cover our New York Knicks. And, brother, it's been a good week. It's going to be a good week. The Knicks went 3-4 last week. They've won 8 of their last 10 games. They sit at 16-7 of this recording right now, and they are up by 15 OG with the 3, and it rolls in and out, gets his own rebound, and he got fouled. So right now, brother, the Knicks right now in the middle of this recording, they're in the middle of their quarterfinals game against Toronto. But brother, what I want to talk about is the Orlando game that we saw this past weekend. Obviously, Franz Wagner got hurt, but that game said a lot about the Knicks' toughness. And it was something that we both harped on when they lost to Orlando, the second meeting in Orlando, where we just felt like they just gave up. They didn't play with the mental and physical toughness that they needed to. I thought that game at the Garden they did, and I thought it showed us a strong sign that the Knicks are the beast of the East. The Knicks are, I don't care that Detroit sits 2.5 games up in the standings. You watch this Knicks team, and this Knicks team is clearly the best team in the Eastern Conference.
Brother, 8-2 of our last 10 games, 16-7 right now as the current record stands. The team is 13-1 at home, and they could be better away. They're 3-6 right now. But brother, this is a team that we want to see. And once again, we talked about it many times going into this offseason and coming in. The Mike Brown experiment, the new regime was going to be under a microscope, and guess what? It's going well. 3 weeks ago, people were already questioning whether we should bring back Tibbs and what happened, and this was a mistake, and let's get rid of everybody, and let's get rid of, let's trade the farm for Giannis. And look how fast things can quickly just turn around if you just give it time and let it develop. And we're seeing the fruits of that labor.
Yeah, you look at the offense. The Knicks are second in scoring in the Eastern Conference. They average about 120 points, 120.7 points a game. Their differential, their win differential, is the highest in the Eastern Conference by eight points. So, we touched on it. This Knicks team is clicking on all cylinders. Obviously, we're dealing with a little hiccup injuries with Deuce McBride. Hopefully everything turns out well. They're looking at just like an ankle sprain, but the Knicks are rolling. The Knicks, Mike Brown, and we said it, we're a quarter of the season away. Give it 25 games and see where we're at. And now you're looking at it. It was going to take adjustments. Now look how Mike Brown now has reverted back into the lineup we had last year, where guys are more comfortable in their roles. Josh Hart's playing a lot better since starting. We highlighted that last week. Deuce can always come out on the bench and play well. OG is back. So guys are going back to their additional roles. And then plus, you got guys that coming off the bench that's playing well. Yabusele, I know he's starting off slow. These last couple games, he's looked a little better. Obviously, he's got to improve a lot more. But, brother, what I want to talk about is this Giannis news. Obviously, it broke out in the middle of when Dave and I record till now about this big news, and we really never got to speak on it. Now, I want to say this when it comes to Giannis. Obviously, you got the Sean's reporting that, that the Bucks and the Knicks did have some talk during the summer, an exclusive window. Obviously, they couldn't get anything done. Supposedly, you hear that the Knicks did offer them a legit package where they thought it was legit enough, where I guess Milwaukee, I don't know, they thought the same. I want to say this when it comes to these people that are just willing to throw the house at Giannis. Brother, we're going to need a lot of things if we want Giannis to come to New York. One, Giannis is going to have to really strong arm the Milwaukee Bucks to want to come here. That's one. Secondly, the Milwaukee Bucks is going to have to abide by that. So, because the Knicks, not unfortunately, because I like Mikal Bridges, the Knicks, they did trade away a few of their draft picks to get Mikal Bridges. So if you're going to try to compensate Milwaukee with picks, that means you're going to not only have to trade Cat, you're going to have to probably trade an OG or whomever to Milwaukee. You're going to then have to try to flip either a Hart or Mikal Bridges to a third team where you're acquiring picks so then you can ship off to Milwaukee. And I get it. Giannis is a superstar talent. Giannis is a champion. He's an MVP. And I would love him on this team. I really would. But at what cost? I'm not willing to make another Carmelo Anthony-like trade to bring Giannis. Now, if you tell me I can maybe trade a Cat, a couple of the pick swaps that we have, and I would even say maybe a Hart or somebody. But if you tell me I got to give away 3 of my starting 5, which is any variation of OG, Mikel, Cat. Well, you're gonna get rid of Cat, so you know what I mean. You would have to for the money, but like any variation of OG and Mikel or OG and Hart or Hart and Mikel, I'm not doing it. This is a championship winning team. People don't understand that. We don't have to go and trade half the team to bring Giannis. And now look, things are heating up. It just I don't know if you heard, brother. 2 hours ago, according to Traded NY, I guess they follow housing sales and stuff. Giannis just bought a $14,000 apartment on 111 Clarkson Avenue in Brooklyn. Yeah, so you already got Knicks fans talking about that. You hear that Giannis was very not motivated, but he loved what he saw when he saw the Garden crowd during the playoffs. They said that strong belief league-wide that Giannis desires one destination above the rest, and he actually fully acts out someday New York. They said, I've heard that the rowdy fan base outside MSG after playoff W's resonated with him, given his fondness for basketball and soccer clubs in Europe. So for all those cities that was making fun of us, the Knicks celebrate regular playoff wins. Well, look, that might come to help us. Look, I would say this, brother. I think a Giannis trade now is probably not going to happen. I'll be honest. I don't think it's going to happen. So much moving parts have to happen for something like that. And it just normally doesn't happen in the middle of the season. Plus, I think Giannis will have more leverage in the offseason, brother, because he will have the 1 year with the player option left, and he can easily strong arm teams to go, listen, I'm not signing with y'all. I'm gonna avoid my option, and I'm leaving. And I think there he will have the most leverage. The only way I feel a little optimistic is that I honestly think the Bucks will honor Giannis. And if Giannis says, get me to New York one way or another, I think they'll find a way to get him.
And it's hard to argue that. I mean, what he's done for that city, what the money he's brought into that city, the rejuvenation, what he's done to Milwaukee. Because let's be honest, who really talks about Milwaukee if it's not including Giannis? Brother, I can see that the respect that is there for him. It's not like he's done them harm. It's not like he's ever shortchanged them. This man has played his heart out and made a culture out of that city. But I can see them wanting to move on. The problem is that just trading for Giannis, it's the salary cap constraints, the long-term commitments. It's Giannis actually wanting to go to a team most likely where he wants to land. This man is owed $54 million as of this year to finish out. In 2026 to 2027, he's owed $58 million, and then in 2027 to 28, he's owed $62 million. That is not an easy feat to just put on your salary, and doing that would gut your team. You would have to, just off the salary commitments that you have to do there, it would gut your team.
Yeah, and that's why I don't think I want to do it. That's exactly why I don't think I want to do it, because of that. I don't, this Knicks team, like I said last year, the problem was depth. That was their problem. It was depth. The depth of outside of your starters, who can you plug in to give you a reliable 10, 15 minutes on the floor. And like you said, brother, if you do a Giannis trade, unless you're going to get the fleece Laker like Luka deal where you're trading Cat, Comb Daddy, a couple rookies and some pick swaps, you're gonna have to get rid of some guys. And it's let's see what happens. I do think. Go ahead.
Yeah, nothing's a guarantee. Unless you can guarantee to me right now that if the Knicks were to trade Giannis for Giannis and get rid of Cat Williams, Jesus Christ,
Cat Williams.
Yes, Giannis for Cat Williams. Can we do that trade?
Williams in a heartbeat.
If we could trade Cat for Giannis, if you could guarantee me a championship, guaranteed this season, I say pull the plug, pull the trigger, do it. That's it.
Like
Get
I
it done.
said, if I can keep,
But that's not. There's no guarantee.
if I can keep Cat's gone, I don't mind trading Cat for Giannis. I guess I want to have my cake and eat it too, and
You want to
I
keep a
would,
Deuce. You
I
want to
would
keep a
love to
Brunson,
keep.
of course,
Yeah,
right?
I would.
He's not.
Honestly, real talk. If I got to give up Cat and Hart, I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do it. Or a Cat Mikel, I'll do it. I don't want. I don't want Cat. I don't want. Like I said, I don't want any variation of the three along with Cat. I don't want to lose four guys.
Out of your
That's
starting
crazy
lineup,
to
too.
me. Yeah,
Including your
that's
starting lineup.
crazy to me. I would not want that. I would not.
What do
want
the
that.
Knicks. Hold on. Just what do the Knicks look like once you got that team for Giannis?
Right. You're gonna look like the Bucks of 2 years ago when they got Dame Lillard.
Right.
That's it. Like I know, like this is what I'm trying to say, man. Look at the teams that made it. Like obviously, OKC had the MVP. Those teams had a legit 10 to 11 guys that they could play. That's what it was. You know what I mean? Look, the Denver Nuggets got a two-man power trip. They a two-man power dynamic duo, Murray and Jokic. And what happened? They lost because they didn't have enough players to come off the bench to relieve those guys for a few minutes. And it put wear and tear on their bodies. So right now, to me, the Knicks issue is depth. So that's all I'm
And I'm
saying. I
sorry.
think it'd be nice to get Giannis, but at what cost? And if it could cost me a couple players and a couple picks, I'm with it. But if it requires us to trade 3/4 of our lineup, I'm not doing it.
Right. And it's easy for the Twitter aficionados who are NBA gurus of what they should be doing because clearly you don't work for the front office, right?
But
It's
then those
easy
are
for
gonna be the
everybody
same.
to.
They're gonna be the same jackasses, brother. That when let's say that we do make that trade and we lose 3 of our last 5 games, they're gonna show a picture of the old team with Towns, the same guys that they wanted out. They're gonna be like, oh my god, we should have went back to that team.
Because it's easy to troll. It's easy to troll when you are on the internet. The internet is undefeated. So yes, while making a move for Giannis is great, and maybe I'll do it in 2K just for the giggles and let's see how many championships I can win in a row. That's not real life. So stop giving me these scenarios, brother. You ever look at and we'll move on. You ever see those fake trades that people put to see what they can do so they can get this done? And it's like, are you seriously thinking that the Bucks or any other team that's got to be a participant of this would accept these trades? Brother. I think you're on mute again.
Sorry, brother. I was popping some Advils. This light, guys. Oh, I don't know how YouTubers do it, man. I think it's catching up to me, the old age. Those are 2K trades, brother. Those are trades that's like, okay, yeah, if you can get that, yeah, but that's not realistic. It's not realistic. But brother, let's just pop up the Knicks schedule right now because it is very confusing. So, guys, if you can see it, as of this recording, they are playing the Toronto Raptors. So now, if they continue to win, and right now the Knicks are winning right now by 17 at the half as of this recording, they will go on Saturday to play the Orlando Magic. So, and if they were to lose, they are going to play the Miami Heat on the 14th. So that's the Knicks schedule right now. It's up in the air because of this whole in-season tournament. I know, brother, you did say you don't care about them winning. Before we pivot to some football, have you changed your mind on that, knowing that the Knicks are 24 minutes away from going on to Vegas to the semifinals?
I haven't changed my stance. The money that
Really?
affects their pocket, the money that affects their pocket doesn't concern me. I care about the Knicks winning it all, and the cup is just that extra money for the players. That's all. That's all I see it is.
I did read a tweet that it's the guys are gonna get exhausted if they win against Toronto, because they're gonna then have to fly to Vegas and then they have to fly to Indiana. So obviously that's gonna be between their road trip. So it's gonna be a lot on the guys. I'm gonna be honest. This tournament is it's growing on me, brother. Like it does feel a little big now. I think it took a couple years, but you can tell that guys are wanting it a little bit more. I'm not mad. I want to win this, man. I actually want the Knicks to win this thing. So I want them to win it. Clearly because it's still to the record. Now, I get it. The extra championship game is not. But I'm going to be honest, bro. Guys get hurt taking a shower. I'm not going to trip off one game. You know what
I
I'm
care about the
saying?
record. I care about the record more out of any of this that comes out of it than it does the cup.
Yeah, so you want to talk football?
Let's do it.
Let's talk football. Guys, we are, because this episode is going long, we're not going to have a Jets and Giants segment because you know why, brother? They don't deserve it. They are the two worst franchises in the NFL. We had it scripted. We were gonna start this show to talk about the Jets, how they're the greatest losers. I said last week that the Giants is the worst franchise in New York, and I stand by it. However, the Jets are the greatest losers. The Jets officially this past weekend missed out, mathematically been eliminated from the playoffs. This is the 15th year in a row. This is embarrassing. I feel for Jet fans. They suck. They stink. God, they stadium was half empty. When your stadium gets run by Miami Dolphin fans. Yes, not Cowboy fans, not Patriot fans, not Eagles fans, but Miami Dolphin fans. A team that's been just as bad as you guys, that their fan base is struggling just as bad as you guys, and they come and take over your building. You're an embarrassing franchise. You don't deserve to get a segment this week and maybe going forward because we're not going to talk about losers on this show. So, and the Giants, I guess you did something right because you didn't play. You got the number one pick, and you're going to find a way to F that up too. Yeah. So, the Giants got 4 games to go, and they sit at number 1 in the draft, and they are going to mess that up. So, you know what? We're going to just pick teams that are winning, and we're going to go from there. So, guys, this is NFL Picks of the Week. All right, y'all, this is NFL Picks of the Week. This is where I know I'm losing, but hey, you can always, I guess, catch up. Whatever. We are picking the winners. Who we think are going to be the winners and losers this week in Week 15. We are already in Week 15, brother. That is crazy. But, brother, let's start off with the Thursday night game. We got the Atlanta Falcons and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'll say this. I'm going to go with the Bucs. They're the better team, but man, that was a bad loss in New Orleans last week.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Bucs as well, but they don't give me confidence as I did feel about them maybe, let's say, 4 weeks ago. They could really use Mike Evans, and there's rumors of him coming back this week, so hopefully they get that going for them. But I wouldn't be surprised if the consistent Falcons win this one. But we're going Bucs.
Yeah. Then we got to go on. Now let's go on to the Sunday games. We got the Cleveland Browns versus Chicago Bears. Chicago Bears put up a big fight against Green Bay, although they fell a little short. Cleveland is playing with some juice, man. They got Baby Prime, Josh Hart 3, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. They're playing with some juice. It was a head scratcher not to have them in the 2-point conversion. But I'm going to go with Chicago. They're at home. They're a much better team. I'll go with the Bears.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Bears. The Bears have played amazing this year, and I did feel like the lights were too bright for them in Green Bay, but playing against Cleveland, so they have a shot.
Yeah. Let's move on. We got Baltimore and Cincinnati. That was a tough one. That was a tough weekend for Baltimore. I really expected them to beat Pittsburgh, but they dropped the ball on that one. Cincinnati they looked like they had things going for them at Buffalo, and I just don't know what happened. Maybe their defense, because the defense sucked the last couple of years. But the way Burrow's playing, I don't know. This is a toss-up. You would think you'll go Baltimore. I'll go Cincinnati. I think the way their offense has been playing, I think Cincinnati can pull this one off.
Okay. And I don't blame you, but Cincinnati really had it going last week, and the Josh Allen effect, I guess, because that's really what got that team going on the Bills. And also that great turnover that became a pick, a pick six? Yeah, I'm going with the Ravens on this one. I just think the Bengals defense lets them down.
Yep. So then we have Chargers at KC. I think Casey's done. I think them making the playoffs is over. Um, they need too much. They need to win out. They need a lot of help. Although the Chargers didn't look good offensively, Herbert's dealing with the hand injury. Um, but the Chargers defense has been playing elite, man. I'm going Chargers in this game.
Yeah, and even with the hand being an issue, that didn't stop them from actually playing well. Like I get it. Yesterday was a tough game, but it was a tough game against a tough team. So it's not the same thing with this Chiefs team at this moment. So let's go Chargers. Your
All
pick, by
right,
the way,
and
for
then
the West.
yeah, but they're gonna let me down. I think Denver's gonna run away with it, but uh, I don't think Denver's a team that I'll be afraid to play in the playoffs. Then we got Buffalo and New England. I think this might be the game of the week for me. It should have been flexed to Sunday night. I know you guys next week has been flexed, but this game should have been flexed to Sunday night, considering what's scheduled for Sunday night. Um, I think this is a tough one. Buffalo, Buffalo's been winning, due to the heroics of Josh Allen. New England's a good team, very good team. I know who you're going with, but
Do you?
yeah, I don't. If you don't pick,
I'll
your
go first.
guy,
I'll go first.
go ahead.
I'm going Buffalo.
Really?
I'm going Buffalo in this one.
Why?
Just because I feel like this is a game that we feel confident about, and we just happen to let it go.
This is why you're leading, because I would have went. New England. I would have let the homer in me pick it, and I'm
I
going
think,
with New
and,
England.
and
I'm going with New England. I think they're the better team. I've watched enough Bills games as of late that I think it's more obviously Josh Allen, Josh Allen heroics, and I just think it's too much balance in New England where I think Allen's gonna have a tough time beating that team by himself. It's in New England. I'm going New England. So you got Buffalo. I got New England.
I won't be mad if I'm wrong. I won't be
Hey,
mad if I'm
I'm
wrong.
mad at it. Right now, then we got the Giants and the Washington. And as I said before the segment started, the Giants will find a way to mess up a good thing. And they are going to beat Washington. And they're going to mess up their draft stock. So, Washington, I got the Giants against Washington.
Jaden Daniels played last week. Why? I have no clue. We spoke about this before. They let it happen. He's hurt again. So let's go Giants because Jackson Dart is going to want to win, and that's not exactly what this team needs right now.
Yeah, exactly. Am I tripping right now? Hold on. Oh, no,
Yes,
I'm
the
not.
answer is
I'm not
yes.
tripping. Yeah, I probably am. No, I was looking for the Jets, and I'm like, no, the bars are done. The bars are done for the rest of the season. Then we have Vegas at Philly. I'll go. I don't need to elaborate why. I'm going Philly.
Hey, let's go Eagles. I'm not even going to do it.
Oh, don't spell that crap out. They don't even deserve it because they've been playing. Jalen Hurts.
You know what? Thank you, Jalen Hurts. Thank you, Jalen Hurts.
You never count out the heart of a champion, and I still think that's a team I probably wouldn't want to play in the playoffs. You can't underestimate the heart of a champion. However, this has to be the most wide open playoffs in a very long time. There's easily 5 teams that could win it all, and I said this to my boss when it came to the Bills. I said the Bills got a New York Knicks season. And for football fans that may not know what I'm talking about, a lot of people say this is the Knicks year to make the finals because of the injuries to a lot of teams that would be in the Knicks' way, that it's going to be finals or bust. And if Josh Allen, I don't care what seed they get, if Josh Allen and the Bills get in the playoffs and there is no Lamar, there's no Joe Burrow, and there's no Pat Mahomes, this is your year to get in. I'm sorry. This would be the year. And it's no shade to New England, Denver, Chargers, no shade to those teams, but this is your season to get in. So I got sidetracked, but the Eagles, I was just saying the Eagles ain't been playing too well, but I still wouldn't want to play them. Then we have, go ahead.
Hold on. So sorry. I wanted to shout out Jalen Hurts. Thank you, because you doing a bad game the other day secured me most points in my league and won me $100. So thank you.
Good for you. Jalen Hurts was on my bench as my team did not make the playoffs. Uh, and now we have the Jets at Jacksonville. Easy, Jacksonville.
Yeah, Jacksonville.
Let's move on. We got the Cardinals and Houston. Houston, man, impressive game. Defense looks really good. Offense still remains to be seen. But I'm picking Houston.
Yeah, Houston in this one.
And we have Green Bay and Denver. Man, hey, who would have thought, brother, this could be a Super Bowl matchup? Who would have thought that this could be a Super Bowl matchup? Green Bay and Denver. This got Green Bay written all over it, though. I think when it comes to these two defenses, it's who you trust more as the quarterback. Because I think the defenses will cancel each other out. And I'm going to go with Jordan Love. I think their offense is starting to click. The last two games they've been able to score. The last two games with Detroit and Chicago, they look like they're really starting to roll offensively. So I'm going Green Bay.
And I don't blame you. I'm going Green Bay in this one. They just have the better offense, and Christian Watson is looking like a stud right now.
Holy cow. I didn't realize how many good 4:30 games there are.
Yeah, finally. There's 5.
Yeah,
there's 5 this week.
Yeah, there's 5 this week, and there's some good ones because now we have another good one, and that's Detroit versus the Rams. This can be an NFC Championship game. I'm going with the Rams, though. I think the Rams right now on paper are a better team. Not even on paper. They've been playing better than Detroit. I know Amon-Ra's back. It looked scary, that injury he got during Thanksgiving, but he bounced back, unfortunately for myself, because I was going against him in fantasy. But I like the Rams in this game. The Rams are just balanced, and that's going to be tough for Detroit.
I'm going with Detroit because they need this game. Right now, they're currently in the hunt, and they need to win this game. So I believe they come out strong.
It's
but
close. The Rams is just a 5.5 point favorite, so it's very close.
They're a better team right now. They're the best team in the NFC, so I don't blame you.
Yeah. Then we got Carolina and New Orleans, and I would say I'm going to go with Carolina, but I'm going to preface this, brother. Carolina better play because New Orleans looks like they want to be playing spoiler. They did it against Tampa at Tampa. So if I'm Carolina, you need to win this game, and I'm going with Carolina.
Yeah. I'm going to go Carolina, but Tyler Shaw is showing that he's going to be the starter for that team. How do you say that name? Because it's like Shaw, Shock, whatever.
Yeah, but he looked, it's going to be interesting because you just always thought that they're going to go quarterback in this draft, and they got something to think about now. They got something to think about. I don't think that's an easy layup that they're going to go quarterback. All right, let's go on to a light one. Tennessee, San Francisco. That's easy. San Francisco.
Yep, let's go CMC. Let's get another 30 points for me. Yeah, actually, no, I'm in a bye week, so do whatever you want to do.
Oh, wow.
Just stay healthy. Stay healthy.
Wow.
Stay healthy, CMC.
Stay healthy. Yeah, that's the only thing. At least the good thing, though, too, is like everybody's in a tight race. So you don't have to worry about, you have a guy. I remember 2 years ago when I won my fantasy league, I had McCaffrey. And I didn't have him in the championship week because San Fran was already on a bye. San Fran already was clinched the division, and they rusted everybody. Thank God A.J. Brown got hurt. Not me, he bounce back, but A.J. Brown got hurt against the Giants, and that ended up casting out, crossing, basically. So that helped me out. But San Fran, easy win. Then we have Indianapolis and Seattle. For y'all that don't know, Indianapolis just lost Daniel Jones, Achilles, and they signed 44-year-old Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers' oldest son, bro, is older than the tight end on the Colts. That's crazy. If Phillip Rivers starts at 44, and this man was sitting on the couch since 2021, don't tell me Colin Kaepernick's not blackballed. I'm going Seattle.
Yeah, some scary injuries happened on this past Sunday, and Daniel Jones was one of them as well. Unfortunately, I know you. I've seen some Giants fans celebrating that, which I get it, but it's just
crazy. That's stupid because you know why? Daniel Jones didn't do us wrong.
Right, but there's people who say that he did, so it's just whatever. I got Seahawks in this one. I don't think Phillip Rivers comes in and makes that team win automatically.
Yeah,
They
I
still
don't.
got JT,
Yeah,
but still.
yeah. I don't think so. I think they had a better chance with Flacco if Flacco would have got released or whatever. But bro, the guy's 44. Why not call Brady then? If you going for Phillip Rivers, why not call Brady? Be like, yo, Tom, what's up? You want to get out the booth? Bro, that's crazy. And then arguably a horrible Sunday night game that I'll probably go to sleep. I don't know if I'm gonna watch it. Minnesota, Dallas, two teams that's not making the playoffs. I'm going Dallas.
Yeah.
You got to think about this,
No, I'm disappointed that this is a game that we got to. I probably,
bro.
just like I
All
did
those
last week,
fire
I'm going to play
games.
video games.
Look, with the 1:00 Bills, Patriots, you got bangers at 4:30. Y'all couldn't flex one of these games for this crap.
I'm just disappointed in that. So I'll be playing video games again. Let's go Cowboys in this one.
You know why? I think CBS didn't want to do it, or Fox, because they don't have a good game to counter that. That's why I think they didn't want to do it. Because CBS big game is going to be Green Bay, Denver. Fox is going to be Detroit, LA. And they're like, bro, we not giving that up. We ain't giving that to NBC. And we got to carry this junk. So, but let's go on to the Monday night game, the Dolphins and the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Dolphins are rolling, as my man Vic would say. They in the hunt. 6-7, 6-7. I'm too old for that. I shouldn't be doing that. I'm not cool. To the YNs, I'm not cool when it comes to the YNs. Against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, look, had a big win against the Ravens. I don't know how Pittsburgh wins games, bro. I really don't. Like, I know, like, their defense is good. Like, obviously, I'm not, like, it's just, I don't know how they win damn games, bro. Like, I look at this team and I go, bro, this team is not that good. But they find ways to win. But Miami's rolling. But if this game was in Miami, I would have took the Dolphins. But I'm pretty sure it's going to be cold as heck in Pittsburgh. Miami doesn't play well in the cold. And they're not playing the Jets. So I'm going Pittsburgh.
Yeah, and I'm not mistaken, A-Chain had some injury issues as well.
A-Chain did look a little hobbled at the end, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with the Steelers in this one. But Miami's trying to play Spoilermaker. They're trying to go 7-7, so we'll see.
They're in the hunt. So they need a lot of help, but they're in the hunt. But brother, we can't end an episode without sharing you guys the highlight of the week. So let's get into it.
He's on fire!
All right, y'all. Highlight of the week is going out to the Cincinnati Bengals. T. Higgins making a phenomenal one-handed catch in the snow. A lot of pressure. That was a good offensive game. You look at the other angle that Brother Dave got on, and you could just see he's being held. He's being held on his one hand, and he just kind of basket one-hand catches that just honestly, just the concentration to have on that play with the snow. You got snowflakes coming in. You know, the surface is not ideal. You got snow on the field. Not ideal. T. Higgins, not arguably, he will be a number one on any team outside of this one because he's paired up with Jamar Chase. But T. Higgins, although the Bengals have not had a good year, T. Higgins has been having a phenomenal year, and he is just stacking up the highlight reels, and now he can add recipient of highlight of the week.
And shout out to T. Higgins because early in this game, he did almost seem like he had a concussion. The way his head hit the floor. So
I think he might have one though too.
I definitely think the NFL is going to be looking at him a little bit more closer this week and just make sure that he's cleared to go. But shout out to you, T. Higgins. Even with everything going on, you pulled that one in.
Yep. So guys, we want to thank you so much. I know we're on Thursday again, and we will be on Thursday next week as well. It's the holidays, guys, and Dave and I, we got jobs, holiday parties we got to attend to, and that sort of thing. So we will be, and guys, just to make this announcement, that next week's episode that will be airing next Thursday, December 18th, will be the Ozone's final episode of the new year, of the calendar new year, as Dave and I are going to be taking some well-deserved holiday break where we're going to be enjoying our Christmas and New Year's, but we will talk more about that next week. But next week's show will be the last of 2025 for the Ozone. But guys, you know what to do. In the meantime, in between time, you need to follow us, guys, on all our social media platforms. As Dave touched on it, our Threads account was very active with the Edwin Díaz news. Our TikTok got a lot of traction off the Anthony Davis short that Dave made. You know, a lot of people agreed with me when I said that the Giants are the worst franchise in New York. So, guys, you have to follow us. We broke out. The Edwin Díaz news came out. Jeff Passan reported it. Ozone was on it. It was on our Instagram. It was on our Twitter. And this is why you need to follow us on all social media platforms. Guys, we are available on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, and Reddit. So, guys, thank you so much. Once again, guys, let us know what you guys think about the Edwin Díaz. I know it's a really big topic of discussion. Edwin Díaz going to the Dodgers. How are you guys feeling about that? Let us know in the comments below. Give us a like, man. Give us a shout out on your page. Share it up. We know the guys that are doing it, continue to do it, showing the support. Remember to like and subscribe and tap and all that good stuff. And we will see you guys next week where we deliver the fire. Peace.
From the bridges to the streets, uptown blackout, season 2, Ozone, NY Heat, no doubt. This is the Ozone, season 2, New York, forever drills, catch the vibe.